Hello and welcome to WMKC TV with me, Chris McCarthy. This is the second Junior TKM race we have today. This one for the Interclub final. The Interclub, a championship for the TKM Junior and TKM Extreme drivers who run 4 rounds in the do a full round championship, and this weekend is their last round and they are visiting us at Stars at Whilton Mill. It is a great championship and I will probably get into more detail a little bit later on. So let's run through the grid review. A very similar grid to what we had for the club race earlier. Due to start on pole was Lewis Alton, but for some reason he has not taken to the grid. Not too sure why. Perhaps a problem beforehand. But however, so taking the pole will be the number 95 of Andrew Rush. James Clark will be to his outside. And on row 2, Joseph Reeve-Smith, who ran well earlier. Made some great progress in the club race, and starting towards the front this time will be looking to do better than what he did earlier. And to his outside is the number 54 of Jack Griffiths. So let's get straight into it as the drivers come into our picture now and round the last corner. So Rush to our right, Clark to our left. Who's going to get the whole shot through turn 1? The revs rise, a crescendo of noise as they come to turn 1. And it looks like Rush has held on to the lead. Clark has held on to that second with Joseph Reeve-Smith in third. A driver off in the back of the field. I couldn't quite see who that was as they come up the hill. And Clark looks straight to the inside and has taken that lead away from Andrew Rush. So great move. I'm surprised to see Rush there. Just left the door open. So should have been wiser to it, to be honest. You know, the first lap, they always do bunch up going up that hill. And Rush not defending his position well enough, and it just left the door open for Clark to take an early lead. Reeve-Smith still with them in third. In fourth place looks like the number 53 of Owen Rosser, who has made, if that is him, he's come from 8th on the grid. And Reeve-Smith looks to go second. And Clark's race, Rush's race even just gets worse and worse. Start the race gets worse because he has now lost his second place. So first to third in the space of a lap. Reeve-Smith is now in second. And look at the lead we have from Clark already. There is the driver that we saw earlier on go off and is now a back marker. Good to see him get going again, but he will hopefully let the lead drivers through and not cause too much problems. And yes, it is the number 20 there who had spun off. So thankfully he does get out of the way. Fair play, for all credit to him for doing so. It is Clark who still leads. Reeve-Smith is second, quickly followed by Rush, who is in third, and that is Rosser in fourth. So Rush looked like he was looking up the inside going into the last corner there, but couldn't do so. That would have been a great move if he could have pulled that one off. I think we have Griffiths there in fifth with a massive queue of carts behind him. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well. But as we come up the hill, Rosser looks very quick there in fourth, but is happy just to sit behind Rush for the moment. So the gap that Clark had going over the line was about 9/10 of a second, but Reeve-Smith, we saw him go very well and has consistently run well in this championship this year. Knows this track like the back of his hand, so I do expect to see him causing some threat to Clark later on in this race. Rush is right with him there in third, who Rush had a good race earlier on in the club final, finished second, and we'll be hoping to go one better on this time round. So we start lap 4, start lap 4, and the gap has come down now to half a second, so 4/10 Reeve-Smith took out of the leader Clark that time round. You see Rush there getting a bit sideways under the brakes there. He's clearly is pushing in that third position to hang on Reeve-Smith, who is on some... And look at the gap now. It has come down to almost nothing. Reeve-Smith, look at him jumping up and down in the seat. He's absolutely flying and is pushing with all he can to catch up Clark. Clark hasn't looked round yet, and if he does, we'll see Reeve-Smith all of a sudden right on the back of him. They go through the boot and they come on to start another lap. Will we see a change for the lead this time round? They look very, very close indeed. This is the closest it has been. So through turn 1 and 2, Reeve-Smith looked like he had a great one out of turn 2 there. Will he be able to get the... Oh, but he just doesn't look like he has the pace going up the hill there. Clark perhaps just may have got a better exit out of turn 2 there than Reeve Smith did. And Reeve Smith looked all over the back of him and looks to the inside, coming down to turn 6. No, couldn't pull it off there. But maybe just lining himself up for a move next time round. He gave the push signal there to Rush in third. And I'm sure Rush will be looking at this battle in front of him, seeing Reeve Smith climbing all over the back of Clark. And I'm sure Rush will just be happy just to sit there in third position. And there goes Reeve Smith. What a great move into the boot. And Clark looks vulnerable now to lose his position to Rush for second place. They come into our picture, and Clark looks like he's gone around the outside. Well, that was very cheeky, because he did run all 4 wheels off the circuit there. He has to be careful, because the marshals will penalise you if you run 4 wheels onto that concreted area, which has only recently been put there for safety reasons. So Clark just got to be careful there. Obviously, it is in. I know he's pushing hard, but the marshals will take a dim view on that if he keeps running 4 wheels off of there. But however, Reeve Smith now in the lead. Clark still with him in second, Rush in third. That was a great move, I must say, by Reeve Smith. Going into that second part of the boot is always a hard place to pull off a move, but it's one of those, it's almost like a block pass. Once you get up the inside there is literally no way back for the driver who has been overtaken. So, just coming up to halfway through this race, the top 3 are all together. Let's go back to the battle for 4th place, because Rosser has lost the lead 3 here and is now being tailed by the number 54 of Jack Griffiths on that Jade kart, which is the Jade kart, very, very popular in this class. You will see lots of them, and mainly run by the Spellfame team, a very, very great team, and the team you always go to get your extra parts from. So, always handy for that too. Look at the lead 3 now, right nose to tail. Reeve Smith, he caught Clark very, very quickly indeed, but since passing him has not yet been able to pull out a lead. Clark perhaps happier sitting in the slipstream, but has now come under threat by Rush, who looks up the inside going into the boot and took second away from him. So, now Reeve Smith will have Rush pursuing him. Clark in third. So, top 3 now in a different order. Owen Rosser still in 4th place, but Griffiths right with him in 5th. Will we see a change? I will keep an eye on that battle for you, I promise. So lead 3 all evenly spaced up coming up the hill now. I can't see any moves happening on this lap. So these top 3, as we know, all featured very well earlier on this race, with obviously Lewis Alton, the absentee from this race, took that victory earlier on. So this is the second chance for them today to take a victory, and I'm sure they will all be hungry to do so. So I tell you, Rush does look quick there in second since passing Clark for second place. Will we see him making a look to take the lead away from Reeve Smith as we come on to start another lap? Rush right on the back of Reeve Smith. Clark slightly just starting to drop back now from the top 2. I think the top 2 just upping up the ante slightly here on their pace. 4th and 5th there. Looks like Griffiths has got past. Now Rush looks up the inside. Oh, and some contact there with Reeve Smith. Oh, Reeve Smith. And they're still side by side. And that has allowed Clark into the victory. And that was very, very clumsy driving there, I must say, by Reeve Smith. He is a very talented driver, but Rush was fully alongside. Reeve Smith just gave him no room whatsoever. Just made almost just jinked across the track. And that just launched Rush into the air. And Rush looked like he's putting his hand up. He looks like he's probably going to go into the pits. And Griffiths, in the mix of all of that, has taken Reeve Smith. So Rush, and that is a great shame to see that he has had to come and pit. But look at what it has done for Clark. All his Christmases has come at once. Look at that lead. It is, I can tell you, it is over 2 seconds from Griffiths, who will probably cannot believe his eyes and has got into second. He defends from Reeve Smith. Reeve Smith was nearly on the grass going up the hill there. Does Griffiths hold on to that second? I wait for them to come into the picture now. Yes, he does. Owen Rosser there will be looking to also make a position onto the podium. But Owen Rosser there looked like he got his braking all wrong going down the hill. I think he braked on the grass and is now under pressure from the 71 kart of what was that? I think that's 66 of Max Goldsmith, who has gotten past him. So we now have the leader well away and clear. Griffiths and Reeve Smith together for second and third. 4th place is the number 68 of James Island. So apologies there. It wasn't 66. It was 68. And now Griffiths again defending from Reeve Smith. Reeve Smith looking for the switchback. We wait for them to come into the shot again at the top of your screen. There they come. Reeve Smith looking to the inside now. But again, Griffiths very, very good on the brakes coming down that hill. Looks over his shoulder there just to see what gap. And I can tell you, Griffiths, no even need to look round because Reeve Smith is right over the back of you. Here is Ireland now leading Rosser and a queue of carts behind them for 4th position. That battle stretches all the way back to 9th place, I believe, which is Goldsmith on the end of that battle. So, Clark with a massive, massive lead and driving very well. Just as I was saying, just before all that kicked off, just did look like he's just started to lose touch with the front two. So, would have been very happy to see them make contact together. But again, Reeve Smith, I'm not quite sure what his intention was there. It's a problem we tend to get in karting. I know if any of you watch the Super 1 series, that drivers squeezing each other when another driver is making a move seems to be an occurring problem. You know, if a driver is fully along the inside of you, you have to give up that position. Reeve Smith, perhaps it was an accidental or an error of judgment, but he did sort of jink his kart to the right, and well, just it left Rush nowhere to go, and unfortunately Rush's end come to an early finish. But Reeve Smith clearly did not do much damage to his car because he is still flying along there in 2nd place, but it does not look like there will be any way back for him to challenge for the lead because we are coming towards the end of the race now. Griffiths, he will be doing all he can to hang on to a podium position there, but he is starting to get caught by that man there, James Ireland, who is flying and is lapping about a 10th of a lap quicker than Griffiths. So it's going to be all on for the last place on that podium if we can see Ireland just close onto the back of Griffiths. So we wait to see. They start the last lap now. Clark looks very, very comfortable in 1st place there, and if he can keep that on track, I do not see any reason why he will not take the victory. Reeve Smith still in 2nd. Griffiths looks comfortable in 3rd. Say Ireland now. I was talking about him perhaps getting a podium, but his 4th place looks under more threat now than anything there. And as he has Owain Rosser right on the back of him, but what a drive from Clark. You know, he just kept himself out of trouble, and you know, he may not have been the fastest driver today. I mean, he certainly had the pace, but he just kept himself out of trouble, and that is what has won him the race today. Reeve Smith there in 2nd, Griffiths in 3rd, Ireland there in 4th. Looks like he's going to hang on, but Clark takes the last round victory of the Interclub Championship. He looks absolutely ecstatic with that. Well done to him. Reeve Smith in 2nd, Griffiths will be delighted with a podium finish there in 3rd, and Ireland finishes 4th place with Rosser in 5th. Was a shame to see the contact there between the lead two, because we did have a great battle shaping up there, but all credit to Clark, who took the victory. Reeve Smith was 2nd and Griffiths took 3rd. Thank you for joining us.